Late today, we got word of a massive explosion leveling a home outside Pittsburgh. Just extraordinary images coming in. This is the aerial footage showing the force of the blast, which happened just moments after the home was cleared by authorities. Those authorities had just been called by the family. There are injuries on the scene, and here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim with the pictures coming in now.
Tonight, investigators on the scene of what was once a home that exploded just moments after everyone inside walked out.
Multiple units responding to an explosion off of Park Avenue, North Franklin.
Splinters of wood and tiny pieces of debris, all that remained from the blast. The home completely obliterated.
I looked down through my backyard and I seen a fireman walking. And I seen debris flying everywhere.
Police telling ABC News the homeowner called authorities after smelling gas. The fire department and gas company quickly responding, trying to clear the home. Emergency crews putting one person on a stretcher. At least 4 were hurt, including 2 firefighters, but all with non-life-threatening injuries. David, neighbors even saying they could feel the blast. Some of them reporting damage tonight. First responders remain on the scene. David? All right, Eva Pilgrim reporting in. Thank you. New developments in the case of those 2 American teens accused of stabbing to death an Italian police officer in Rome. The father of Finnegan Lee Elder arrived in Rome today. He hasn't yet seen his son, who is accused of being the stabber. It comes as Italian TV broadcast Instagram photos, one showing that young American suspect holding a large knife, and another image possibly from just hours before the incident. Italian police are examining the images. Now to the new image tonight of that Delta pilot accused of trying to fly drunk. He was pulled off the plane just before takeoff from the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport. And tonight, what he allegedly did is he tried to pass through a TSA checkpoint. ABC's David Curley covers aviation.
This 37-year-old Delta pilot, Gabriel Schroeder, is grounded tonight, suspected of being drunk as he prepared to fly passengers. The pilot saw that Minneapolis police were conducting additional random checks at the checkpoint. According to police, Schroeder looked confused, told a TSA officer he wasn't ready to be screened and left the area. Authorities say he's seen on surveillance video going into a men's room, where police later find an unopened bottle of vodka. The visibly nervous pilot does go through screening, but police are suspicious, and officers find Schroeder in the cockpit for the flight to San Diego. As passengers waited, Schroeder's breathalyzer was well over the limit for pilots. He was arrested.
For a pilot, he looked a little disheveled, like he had the white with the epaulets and that, but it was dire need of an ironing. It was kind of a schleppy look, because the other pilot, looked like he walked out of GQ.
Delta found another pilot. The flight was delayed for an hour. The airline says it has no tolerance for violations of alcohol policies. The pilot has not yet been charged. David
Curley tonight, thank you. We turn next here to the life or death battle on a rushing river in Des Moines, Iowa. Police officers fighting to rescue 2 people whose raft had capsized at the surging waters, then plunging them back under. Here's ABC's Alex Perez with the body cam tonight.
Hold the light. Hold the light. The harrowing rescue captured on police body cam video.
Don't let go!
Watch as brave officers in Des Moines, Iowa battle a raging river to get 2 people to safety. Their raft capsizing. Using a rope, you can hear the officers struggling to hold on.
Get your head up! Give me some room. Don't pull me. Give me some.
The man and woman in the turbulent waters near a dam desperately yelling for help until police arrived.
Raft upside down and 2 people stuck under the raft. Hey, stop. She's under. Stop.
You can see the powerful current at the officer's feet. After a few nerve-wracking minutes,
Get her.
The officers are finally pulling them out of the water. David, a Good Samaritan was trying to help before officers arrived. Thankfully, those 2 people are okay. As for those officers involved, they dried off and went right back to work that night. David?
Alex Perez, thank you. Now to the race for 2020 tonight on a rematch of sorts. Tonight with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on that debate stage. Harris took aim at Biden in the last debate weeks ago. Tonight, what Joe Biden is now saying will be different this time. ABC's Mary Bruce in Detroit again tonight.
Tonight, as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get ready for a rematch, a battle is on for the future of the Democratic Party.
Democrats win when we run on real solutions, not impossible promises. When we run on things that are workable, not fairy tale economics.
I don't understand why anybody goes to all the trouble of running for president of the United States just to talk about what we really can't do and shouldn't fight for.
leading liberals Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders clashing with their centrist rivals over Medicare for All.
Medicare for All is comprehensive. It covers all health care needs for senior citizens. It will finally include dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses.
But you don't know.
Second of all.
You don't know that,
Second
Bernie.
of all.
We'll come to you in a second,
I do know,
Congressman.
and I wrote the damn bill.
Moderates argue Medicare for All could doom Democrats because millions of Americans won't want to give up their private insurance.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to support any plan that rips away quality health care from individuals.
But author Marianne Williamson declaring there are bigger issues at stake.
If you think any of this wonkiness is going to deal with this dark psychic force of the collectivized hatred that this president is bringing up in this country, then I'm afraid that the Democrats are going to see some very dark days.
Mayor Pete Buttigieg with a warning across the aisle.
If you are watching this at home and you are a Republican member of Congress, consider the fact that when the sun sets on your career, the thing you will be remembered for is whether in this moment with this president, you found the courage to stand up to him or you continue to put party over country.
Tonight, round 2, the pressure is on for Biden after his lackluster first debate when Harris was on the attack. This time, Biden is promising, I'm not going to be as polite.
All right, Mary Bruce with us live from Detroit. And Mary, I know you've been speaking to Biden's campaign. So what is the strategy tonight?
Well, Biden's team says he is hoping to focus on Trump, but that he's also learned his lesson here. I'm told he is not going to take any attacks lying down. If his rivals take a swing at him tonight, Biden is going to swing right back. David.
Here we go. Mary, thank you. After last night's first night of the debate, Democrats talking so much about health care and drug costs. Well, today, the Trump administration revealing that they're exploring a new way to reduce prescription drug costs. The plan would allow some FDA-approved drugs to be imported from foreign countries at lower costs, especially from Canada, though it could be months or longer to try to rewrite the rules. The Federal Reserve lowering its benchmark interest rate for the first time since the Great Recession in 2008, cutting the rate 0.25%, citing slowing global growth and trade tensions, but signaling no more cuts will be coming. The Dow plunging 333 points on the news. Investors had hoped for more. President Trump had pushed for steeper rate cuts, but Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said today, quote, "We never take into account political considerations." Even with the cut, President Trump unhappy tonight, tweeting, "Powell let us down." Turn next tonight to those tourists, some of them American, forced to make an awful decision. They were on a boat when it caught fire. Do they stay on board or do they jump into shark-infested waters? And here's ABC's Kaylee Hartung.
These are the dramatic moments. A small tour boat in the Galapagos Islands catches fire, forcing passengers to make a choice in the dark of night.
I didn't know if I was supposed to stay on a burning boat or jump in the water with sharks.
On board as the cabin fills with thick smoke, television producer Lisa Bartley of our KABC station. She keeps her cell phone camera rolling as all 16 passengers evacuate, jumping right into shark-infested waters.
Next. Why don't we all go get together?
The life rafts don't immediately deploy. Their guide keeps them calm, instructing the passengers to swim towards the nearest island.
Get together, grab each other's arms. We kick to the left.
After an hour in the water, the life rafts finally inflate. 2.5 cold hours later, a sailboat responds to their SOS call.
All passengers and crew are safe. The tour company telling us tonight they're still investigating what caused that fire last week, but they say they've repaired the boat and it's back in the water. David?
All right, we're just glad everyone's okay. To the index of other news tonight, in the urgent manhunt for 2 escaped prisoners in Jefferson County, Arkansas tonight, Wesley Gullett and Chris Sanderson escaping from the Jefferson County Detention Center, both being held on federal charges there. Authorities say Gullett is the leader of a white supremacist gang. They reportedly put a dummy in their beds to fool the guards. Both are considered armed and dangerous tonight. To that water park scare overseas, a malfunction causing a tsunami of sorts. Look at this, in a crowded wave pool. This was in northeastern China. At least 44 people were hurt, several treated for broken bones. The pool has been shut down. They are investigating how this could have happened. We have 2 passings to note tonight. A Broadway giant has died. Famed producer and director Harold Prince, winner of 21 Tony Awards, a driving force behind so many musicals, including West Side Story, Fiddler on the Roof, and The Phantom of the Opera, Hal Prince was 91. And Football Hall of Famer Nick Bonaconte has died. The former linebacker helped lead the Miami Dolphins to the only perfect season in NFL history, along with 2 Super Bowl titles. Diagnosed with dementia, he promised to donate his brain to CTE research. He was just 78. When we tonight, our Warriors and their young players, America Strong.
Well, you're going to make a W.
He is just one of 17 coaches helping these children. And these coaches have seen so much on this field and on the battlefield. They are wounded warriors helping 17 children here at camp, each with a disability and each of them with a hero to look up to.
Point out your target.
Many of the children are missing a limb, and for some, it's the first time they're in the game.
Happy feet, there you go.
They traveled to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and those warriors were waiting for them. Retired Lance Corporal Josh Wiggy, now a coach.
I was in Afghanistan, and our vehicle hit a 200-pound IED, and it cut both my legs off with it below the knee.
Josh is a member of USA Patriots, America's amputee softball team. They compete around the country against teams with players who haven't seen war, who have not been injured, and they play hard. They want these children to know they can do it too. Christy Filbrin drove from Ohio to get her 2 children here.
It's a powerful example to the kids.
I don't put on socks and shoes in the morning. I have to literally strap legs to my body to be able to walk. So, I mean, life taught me perspective, and I can share that with anybody else that comes out.
And those coaches who barely take a break did find time to send me this.
From the USA Patriots, big hello, buddy.
A big hello back. We are grateful to those wounded warriors, and so are the families, children on the field.
They deserve to be kids, so we get to bring them out, teach them how we've gotten through it, but we also learn from them too.
We salute the coaches and the players. Good night.